Hello and welcome to my DIY and sewing channel, CaitMakes. In today's video, I'm going to be making my dream butter yellow dress. Butter yellow has been absolutely everywhere. You might be sick of it by now. In my defense, I started this dress about a year ago when butter yellow was fairly new, at least to my ears, and I'm finally finishing it now. This video and this dress is for anyone. This could be your first project. If you've never sewn anything in your life, you could make this dress. It's very, very simple, and I'm making this video very beginner focused, so I'm giving you more detail than what's in the pattern and giving you little tips as we go along and teaching you a little bit as I go. One of my big goals with this channel is to make sewing less scary and more accessible and let people know that you can start making your dream wardrobe even if you've never sewn anything in your life before. You do not have to buy from a fast fashion company. You do not have to just settle for whatever you can find at the stores and whatever you can find that happens to fit you. You can make something that fits you beautifully and is exactly what you want, and it's really not as hard as you think. And I think this is a great dress and a great project to prove that point. I'm going to be using this knit fabric, which I don't even remember where I got it now. I want to say that I got it for like $3 a yard or something. I found it somewhere on sale that I just like couldn't resist, and I thought it'd be a great one for this pattern. This is called the Jella dress. I have shared this on my channel before just as one that I think you guys should make. It's very beginner friendly, stretch fabric, which is very forgiving, and it's just a gorgeous design. It has this beautiful open back and bell sleeves. I just think that the design is really classy, but a little bit sexy, still comfortable, but could be dressed up. It's just a good dress for like being comfortable, but also feeling and looking great. So that is our plan for today. Now let's do a quick story time on why this dress was sitting unfinished for about a year. So really quick, just so you're not wondering, what happened was I got very excited about this dress. Beautiful pattern, beautiful color, all the things, absolutely love it. Started to make it, and then when I only had a few steps left, I decided that it would be the perfect dress to make for one of my best friends as a maternity dress and as a gift, and I just stopped everything I was doing and I went and made her a dress. And this is the result of that one. She absolutely loved it. I made it in a 4-way stretch fabric, so it fit her while she was pregnant, and I think it will continue to fit her afterward. Absolutely beautiful. Loved the result. But I am someone who gets very fixated on something and goes like full steam ahead, and then usually finishes it and then moves on to the next thing and gets very focused on that. And in this case, I got very focused on her dress, and then I just kind of forgot about my dress that was sitting here. Truly the only thing I have left to do is just like finishing touches. It's pretty much a dress already. It's almost the end of summer now. We're almost into fall, and I'm so excited for fall. But I have a couple more summery trips and things left before summer is officially over, and before I won't be in the mood to wear this bright yellow anymore. So I have to finish it now, today. It has to be done. So I hope this video inspires you. If you have a project that maybe you kicked aside a while ago that you need to finish, pick it up today. Make today the day that you finish it. It's gonna feel great once we're done with this thing. So yeah, now I'm gonna go back in time a little bit and show you how I made the dress up to this point. Have fun with Caitlin 1 year ago. Okay, the part that I'm most excited about is that this is a backless dress. So there is a big hole in this. So I need to stay stitch around this whole opening and then around the neckline and armhole edges and the armhole and neckline of the front bodice piece. So catch back up with you after I do that. If you are watching this and you're a beginner or thinking about sewing, stay stitch. Might sound complicated, but it is not. It is the easiest thing ever. It is just sewing that you can easily remove if you would like. It's just sewing a straight line without going like backwards and forwards at the beginning and end of each stitch to make sure that it stays in place. So very simple. Okay, next was a quick gathering stitch on each side of the front bodice between the end of the armhole and the first notch on the side, and then it's written on the pattern how long you should gather that section too, which is a little bit of a unique instruction to me, but very easy to follow. Did that, and then now I need to use my clear elastic. This is my first time using clear elastic also. We'll see how it goes. But you need 1/4 inch clear elastic for this. I got mine off of Amazon. This goes on the shoulder seams and the big cutout on the back. So, seems important. Alright, I just used my serger to do both of the side seams, and this is already basically a dress. I just slipped it on really quick and the fit is great. I took it in a little bit extra on the smallest part of my waist because I did a quick little like test try on and realized that that was going to be an issue, but it fits like a glove right now. Super excited. And yeah, this is such an easy pattern. If you don't have a serger, then you can do zigzag stitch, or, you know, do a quick Google on what other stitches you can use besides serger, but sergers are best for stretch fabrics. So far so good. Very, very quick. Let's see what's next. Okay, next up we are going to close the sleeves, and they tell you to baste and then go to the serger. I'm going to be a little bit lazy and go straight to my serger because it's faster. Now, right sides together, place the sleeve into the arm side, which is just the armhole, and match up all the notches, pin it together, and sew it with the serger. You can baste first if you're nervous. So now that you've seen how I got to this point, we are now 1 year later to the point where I had sewn the back opening binding on once. Now I still need to do the next steps of somehow, you know, wrapping this around and finishing it. It's been about a year since I made this, so I don't remember how I made my friends. Now that we've serged it, we press it so that it's flat, and then we're going to fold the raw edge so that it matches up with the raw edge of the serge lines, and cross it over 1 millimeter so that I can sew it from the front. We're going to end up stitching in the ditch basically, so it needs to cross over that line so that we can catch it from the front. So you fold it in half, fold it over far enough so that when you stitch in the ditch, you're catching all that fabric and you end up with this pretty looking finishing. Then the back opening is complete. Lovely. Next up, we take the neck binding and the 2 tie straps and sew them all into one long line. And then we can work on getting it attached to the neckline. We're getting so close. I really can't believe how few steps were left in this dress that has just been sitting there. But it's finally going to be done. All I've been able to think about is
sunshine, daisies, buttermellow.
On this stupid fat red yellow. Obviously butter yellow and butter mellow are not the same, but I just keep repeating that over and over in my head while I sew this. So I might need to turn on Harry Potter in a minute. It is, after all, almost fall. It's about that time for me to start obsessively watching Harry Potter, even though I watch it pretty obsessively already. But fall especially. So I'm just going to fold over and sew. Easy peasy. If you listen very closely, you might hear a puppy snoring in the background. I don't know if the microphone will pick it up, but it's very cute. Place the neck binding right sides together with the garment neckline, align the edges, match the notches, pin and hand base the binding to the garment. Basically, attach it. Okay, I just rethreaded my serger with all black thread for another project that I'm working on, and I really don't want to rethread it all with my white thread, so I am going to do a slight hack and use a serger-like stitch that my sewing machine has instead. So if you don't have a serger, maybe use this one as well. I will show you what it looks like. So I'm using this option here, and it ends up looking like this, which is very serger-like, and I think it will do the job. Alright, and now it's just the same process that we did for the back opening, and there's it all pinned on. Sew it down. we're so close. Okay, so after we're done with that part, you're left with this open tie strap. So they explain the proper and fancy way to do this, which is with more pressing than I'm in the mood to do to a stretch fabric because it just doesn't make that big of a difference to me. We're basically just folding the raw edges in on each other, folding the whole thing kind of like an envelope, and then folding it in half again, pinning it all the way down, and sewing along the edge to enclose all those raw edges and make the strap nice and thin. I will press these once they're sewn down, but for the folding process, I think it's pretty easy to fold it perfectly in half just by eyeballing it. There we have a strap, which is a little bit curly. I tried really hard not to let it stretch too much as I sewed it, but I think it just has to happen a little. So it'll straighten out a little more once I iron it, but when I did this last time, they had a little bit of curl also, but I think it looks kind of cute like that. I'm going to do this to the other side really quick, and then I'm going to try it on to see if I need to adjust anything to make the back fit really well. I know that when I made it for my friend, it did have a little bit of gaping, and I think it just kind of depends on, you know, how your body is because it's such a big opening. So I'm curious to see if I'll need the same adjustment that hers needed or not. So I'm hoping not, but we shall see. Okay, it fits. I am so pleased with it. Quick wrap up. Both times I've made this dress, it has only taken me 2 days and really like a day and a morning. It's an incredibly quick project. Despite me doing it over the course of a year, it still only took me 2 days of actual sewing time. You could definitely push to get it all done in one day. It's one you could do over a weekend for something you have coming up the next weekend, 100%. So a great last minute, beginner friendly project, and one that I'm going to be wearing so much. I am in love. Quick critique of this one. The neckline and the back do roll out just a tiny bit. That didn't happen the first time I made it. I think a lot of that has to do with me letting it sit for a year without having the binding around. So I think that the neckline probably stretched out a little bit as well as the back opening. So don't leave yours sitting for a year if you can help it. But hey, mine is still extremely wearable, and it's really a more like perfectionist issue than a wearable issue. So it's my husband's birthday this weekend, and we are headed to a Rufus Du Sol concert. We're headed to LA and Riverside, and somewhere in there I'm going to shoot these reveal shots. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps my channel and me so much. And I so appreciate you spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you back here soon. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Now let's see how this dream butter yellow dress turned out.